Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria has discovered something shocking. We are now importing what we already have. Yes, not technology, not rocket parts, not artificial intelligence. We are importing ethanol made from cassava. And before you ask, yes, the same cassava that is everywhere in Nigeria, the same cassava that becomes gari, fufu, tapioca, and about 17 other things Nigeria eats before complaining about the economy. Welcome to the economic magic trick called we produce it, but we still import it. The Nigerian paradox. Nigeria is the largest cassava producer on planet Earth. Over 60 million tons every year. That's not small. That's not medium. That is, we could feed half the planet if we organize level production. But here we are. Here is where the comedy begins. Nigeria needs about 400 million liters of ethanol annually. And guess what? We import about 75% of it. Yes, we export the cassava indirectly and import the ethanol directly. This is like selling your yam to your neighbor, then going back to buy yam porridge from the same neighbor at triple the price. Economic genius, the mathematics that might make you cry. Let's do some simple math. 1 ton of cassava can produce about 160 liters of ethanol. To produce all the ethanol Nigeria imports, we only need about 2 million tons of cassava out of 60 million tons we already produce. That is about 3%. 3%, which means somewhere in the world right now, a foreign factory is happily processing cassava, while Nigeria is processing policy meetings. Meanwhile, in other countries, take Thailand and Vietnam, these countries look at cassava and said, let's turn this into industry. So they built factories, created export markets, generated jobs. Nigeria look at it, they look at cassava very well and said, more gari. Don't get me wrong, gari is sacred. In fact, gari is a lifesaver. But when an entire agricultural superpower treats an industrial crop mainly as swallow, something is wrong with the economic wiring. The real problem Nigeria does not suffer from is lack of resources. Nigerians suffer from lack of organization because turning cassava into ethanol requires things Nigerians fear the most: supply chain, industrial processing, logistics, consistent policy. Most importantly, people who actually plan beyond the next election cycle. The new twist now, the government is talking about blending ethanol with petrol. Translation: more ethanol demand is coming, which means one of two things will happen. Either Nigeria build an agro-industrial system, or we will simply import even more ethanol while sitting on mountains of cassava, which would be like living beside a river and buying bottled water from Switzerland. Private investors are already waking up. Some companies are quietly acquiring farmlands in some places and other regions. Why? Because they understand something simple. If Nigeria organizes its cassava supply chain properly, ethanol could become a multi-billion-dollar industry. Jobs, exports, industrial growth, all from something Nigeria already grow in their backyard. Now the final irony: Nigeria has the land, the farmers, the cassava, the market. The only thing missing is the ability to connect point A to point B without holding 47 conferences. So the real question today is not whether Nigeria has cassava. The real question is, can Nigeria finally stop exporting raw potential and start exporting finished products? Because in a global economy, there are only two kinds of country: the ones that process wealth and the ones that import it back in bottles. Nigeria must decide which one it wants to be. What do you think is really holding back Nigeria's agro-industrial revolution? Is it policy? Is it infrastructure? or the famous Nigerian disease called, we'll look into it. Drop your thoughts in the comments, like and share, and subscribe for more brutally honest breakdowns of Nigerian political and economic puzzles. Until next time, stay curious.